questions. Hello, hello. Are we live? Yes, we are. Welcome, everybody. Can you hear me now? Fabulous. That was so beautiful. I just love that graphic so very much. So let me try this again.
How about that for energy?
Yes, so good. I am Adrea Peters, and I am so thrilled to be here with the Weaver Birds, the Weaver sisters, Karen and Emma. And we'll just get started here. This is the week of the launch for the Heroes Roar second installment, which is the Lioness book. Karen's holding it there. Oh my God, isn't it just gorgeous? Oh my gosh. Look at that. Wow, wow, wow. So we're going to start with you, Karen, the founder, creator, inventor of this Heroes Roar series, and tell us where the idea came from. Like, where did this even, you probably told me, but I don't remember.
You know how you roll, Adria. You know me. So the origin of this series was, I happened to be looking through some pre-made covers on a website one time. And this cover was there, and I was like, I have to buy that. I don't know what it's for, but I have to get that. It was just so cheap. And I was like, right. So it sat in my inbox for, I'd say, 2 years, and I never did anything with it. And then it called. It said, Karen, you've been helping a lot of business owners with their own anthologies. It's time for you to create the experience for other people that are around you. And I had had a tough year, and I wanted to kind of help people who you know me, Adria, I don't like letting people down. So I wanted to create an experience that would raise the vibration for everyone and share stories with the world. So Heroes Roar Lion Edition, Stories of Courage and Perseverance, was born. And then as soon as I embraced that and got the cover just altered to say that, the call came in to say, this isn't one book, this is a series. Think Chicken Soup for the Soul. Think, because we filled book 1 in 3 weeks with 34 people. It just, whoa. People just gravitated to it. So whenever that happens, you just know that something special and magical and bigger than me is in motion, and I have to show up for it. So that weekend, I said to Dylan, sorry, I need you to do this and action it straight away. And I was like, I need a lioness, I need a tiger, I need a Siberian tiger, I need, just find out what cats there are. and let's put a theme to each one of them. And Dylan was totally connected to it. And I said, I just went and found lots of stock images of cats, and I said, that's one, that's one, that's one. And this is the theme of that. And it just happened so fast. So then we had a series of 8 books. And I was like, wonderful. No, that wasn't it. There was going to be docufilms, and everyone's like, Docufilm, that's not even a word or a thing. Like, what is that? And I was like,
I said that. I for sure said that. I was like, what's a docufilm, Karen?
it's a thing now, Adria. So a
I'm in.
Yes, a docufilm is where you interview people and then infill it with video content, and then bring it together for a dramatic experience of sharing. So it's like a documentary and film together, fused with a narrator. So and this brainchild came, and then we've set up our own Power of Story TV, which I'm just so excited about. And Heroes Roar is going to stream on that before the end of this year. Beautiful.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And so the thing that as a contributor, so it's really cool to have the theme already defined. I think that makes it really interesting as a contributor. So thank you for that. And it really, for me personally, has made me dig deep into what does that mean. So in this one, it's about stealth and faith. So Emma, what did you write about, and how did stealth and faith kind of come together for you?
So, and I really just want to say it's been absolutely brilliant over the last few years. Karen and I talk every day, but I have been gifted the background of all of this, and to see it being nurtured and watch it come into fruition at exactly the right time has been amazing. And I mean, I was there when Karen's going, I've got this book, it's a lion book, and like that's my star sign, and I was like, oh my goodness, resonate with all of this. And to see it grow naturally, and for people to understand the principle of the legacy that this is leaving, is huge.
Yes.
And we'll talk about it in a minute, but it's just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's amazing to see it. So I'm very lucky. I'm in all of the books.
Yep.
So
yeah, me too. So it's cool.
Me too.
Yeah, all three of us
get
are
to talk about all the things. So obviously I was in the first book. So the Lioness book was really important to me, and I definitely recognise that, I suppose, as a business owner and even a single mum, I stand in my masculine a lot. I don't necessarily tap into my feminine all the time, but the Lioness book allowed me to do that and to show up in a vulnerable, feminine, but authentic and authoritative way. So what I have done in this book is I have been vulnerable and spoke about my journey of having faith through IVF to have my last wee girl. It's an important story, I believe, to talk about. It's not necessarily something that you would attribute to a Lioness book, but it's very feminine, it's very feline. And so it was actually meant to be another chapter, and then I was talking to Karen going, I'm not quite sure that fits, and we swapped it. So we swapped it, and that's how I know. And whilst it's not all about that, it's about the learnings and the wisdoms and how you show up for yourself. Faith being a huge part of it.
Yeah, exactly right. And the stealthiness, I know, Karen, you talk about it in the introduction. I don't know if you want to share a little bit of what you define as stealth, because I think stealth is a word that we don't always use, but it's such power. And I was noticing in reading through the chapters a bit in preparation for this, how people really, really loved that was a word that they got to spend a little time.
There we go. Look at that.
Look at you with your graphic. Oh my God, you're just blowing my mind.
Heart is on fire this evening.
We did not rehearse, you guys. This is not rehearsed.
Hey, I just had the best self-discipline camp session. It was so good. So stealth is the secret art of entering the faith of your heart and leaving the noise of your mind behind. And Emma talks about this chapter that's in the book, and this is one of the things that happens is people show up and are so courageous. It just blows my mind. It's as if it's this safe space to share stories, even though these books are going out into the world. It calls amazing people in to it. Like this book has blown my mind. I was like, how could I beat Lion? Because Lion, the stories in it are amazing. And I know you're coming into Lion, Adria, as well, but it's just the stories in there just blew my mind. And I was like, how can we beat Lion? Lioness, now we have more. We have 42 women and one man in there, and sharing stories of stealth and faith. And stealthiness is a word that can be perceived as negative, but it's not. You know, it's where we show up and to make moves without having to shout it out to the world. We can just take moves and find our way. And so it's not sneaky. It's being just navigating the journey, I suppose.
Really.
Yeah.
And a lot of people talk about letting their intuition really guide. And I know that's coming up as another kitty cat in the series. But I do think that there is a link in many ways of, as you come into your lioness, that you're coming into who you really are and who you want to be. And that's the real stealth and faith. I think that your story, Emma, you know, I know it well, and I and it's important. And I think it's very important for people to, you know, I write about being a woman boss and how I started my career in corporate America. And that I just quit. I had to just quit because I was becoming a male leader, because that was what was before me, right? And so I didn't really know it at the time. I knew I just kind of had to get out of there. But over time, it started to grow, and I realized, oh, there's Laura saying hi. Oh, there's people saying hi. People are joining. Hi.
We've got Carol who's in the book as well. We're going to get to meet Carol next week.
Yes, and Laura was there. I saw her. She's in the book.
Wendy.
He's having goosebumps. I love it.
Oh my gosh! So it's funny that you know, everything always flows with the three of us, which I really appreciate. I just love you both so very much. And I was thinking, like, to kind of give us a sense of the authors, because it is so diverse in the authors that are in this. So either one of you want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh.
You go ahead, Karen. You've got it. And as you said, this book there's so many people in it, which is the magic of it, really, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I am so precious about who comes into these books. I interview everybody. And yes, there is a cost element to be part of this experience, but we keep it so low for the value. If you think of the amount that we have pumped into the resources and the things that we have around. Oh, there's Breda. Hey, Breda. Breda's in the book as well. They're all lionesses in the UK.
Yeah.
I love that we get to say we're all lionesses. We're all lionesses, and this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really I really enjoyed the experience. I loved reading through it, because I didn't have a chance. I mean, I did it to prepare for this, so Karen sent me a copy yesterday. So just reading through and just seeing the diverse backgrounds that people have, I think that's really it's really fun to see. And people's different interpretations of what faith and stealth means to them. So I just found it completely inspiring and fascinating in that sense. But Emma, I wanted to ask,
there's such a contrast of people in the book, and that's what we want to celebrate, is stories, because we know, Adria, that stories, and Emma as well knows, that stories connect, heal, ignite. You know, just whenever you read something, like, not everyone will resonate with every story and it will be entertainment, but whenever you read a story that connects with the heart and mind of you, and it ignites it awakens something within you, and you can never go back to sleep from that. It's going to change your life. And I know that because that's happened to me on many occasions. I know that because I was ignited to write, you know, my first novel in 2010, and it reach the hearts and minds of others and awaken them to, and that's the thing, writing and books, because when someone's reading a book, you have their full attention. You cannot get distracted in a world full of distractions. So that's why
I also say, if they do get distracted, that's exactly what they were meant to think about. And if the words on the page put them into a different place and they are distracted with a new discovery, then boy, you've done it. You've done it as an author. You've got them. And
I love that.
The dream, right? Yeah.
That is so the dream. Absolutely. Oh, Breda loves us.
How did you?
We're all legends.
We love you too, Breda.
how did you, what do you think when Karen asked you to run the UK division of this legacy project?
Yeah, and I mean, as much as Karen and I talk every day, I don't expect to be involved in our projects, but I was super excited because obviously we've talked about this through the years. I've watched it grow and evolve. And then Karen says, will you come on board and support me across the UK and Ireland? So, I mean, it was an absolute yes the minute she asked, as most things are when Karen asks, and not going to lie. But having experienced the experience of the launch in Crum, and then we done it in London, and then I was part of the New York. I wasn't over in the Australian one, and really seeing how this embraced a sense of community, but a global community, and brought people together in such a special way, to be able, I suppose, to be part of the wider team that makes sure there's someone on the ground practically all across the world. So that people are really embracing the whole experience. And then it's important, isn't it, to have local people as well as being part of a bigger movement. I know here in Ireland we're very peoply, so people like you to meet them. You know, they like you to be nearby. It just makes better sense. I know it's a comfort thing. But as a sister and also being part of the project and an author myself, I was absolutely delighted. Big smiles on my face.
Can I add to that, Adria, as well?
Yes, please.
So if anyone doesn't know it, me and Emma have Weaver Birds TV that we used to do every week, and all of the things, and we were you know, we're like, and I was like, wow. And then you called us Weaver Birds whenever we come into this, and you didn't know this story, but I was like, right, we want to ignite Weaver Birds because Weaver Birds create colonies of people and opportunities, and like this hub, this community of where people come and are safe and are you know, do things together, and just this constant, if you know what I mean. And we're doing all of this out of, like, everything that comes in goes back into everything and creating opportunities, and it's forever growing. Like, we have the leadership circle coming out of here, sure. So it's not just books, it's not just films and being visible and opportunities. We're also we have the leadership circle being built out right now to highlight everyone that's in it. So if you come in and you want these extra opportunities, and we have leaders all over the world, like Laura's a leader in the US, and we've got, and there's the magic you create together, though. Yeah, there you go. And that's
that was
the
your
thing.
one saying, Karen, when we were in Weaver Birds, we were like, we need to do something. We need to do something. So we started Weaver Birds, but this then is a natural.
This is it embodied.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that it is a community, and when you feel connected to everybody. As an author who's, you know, I'm kind of new to the party in some ways. You know, I'm getting retrofitted back into Lion. Thank you, Karen, which I really appreciate. And I really enjoyed that. And I enjoy just the community that it's creating. And it's just absolutely beautiful. And everyone that's writing and contributing to these books we're all connected in our desire for the world to be a better place, and for people to know you can overcome anything. You are a lion, a lioness, any of those kitty cats. You're all of those. You're fierce and strong and beautiful and brave and all of those wonderful things. And I think that's the united voice of each installment, is that. So I think that that's just such a beautiful, beautiful thing. So
you've captured that lovely. You've really captured the essence of it. And I love the fact that you call it kitty cats. I love it.
And the thing is, every book is individual and has its own book family, but the community, the Heroes Row community, is a collective of people, and it not only is impactful for the individuals in the project, but also everyone around them. So that, like, and we, like, I go and headhunt people who have big audiences. Like, we've got David Meltzer going into the Lion edition. We've got lots of people in there, you know, that I have went and said, oh, I'd love you to share a story. And we've got a lot of big people in all of the other books as well that will help bring bigger audiences to that, and that's strategic, because we want to illuminate. We don't just write stories for them to sit in books and not be read. We write them to reach. And one of the things that happens whenever we do like a live event like this, Adrea, or if we are doing a physical, you know, an in-person launch and filming day, no matter where we are in the world, or if we're just doing something online with a graphic, for some reason it reaches a huge demographic. It isn't niche down. It's a demographic of stories that connect everyone. There's something for everyone in it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Emma, what's next for Heroes Roar in the UK? What's coming up next?
So, Heroes Roar in UK, we are having an event in August in Belle-Isle in County Fermanagh, which you've been
There's an
to.
exclusive.
So, it's in August, and that is really to allow people to come and embrace the essence of Heroes Roar, new authors, people that have been in previous books, whatever it is, part of the Heroes Roar community. And we would be inviting everybody to it, to come to beautiful Ireland, to County Fermanagh for that as well. And one of the things, and I'd be talking to some of the girls, so even though we're launching the Lioness book, some of the people from the UK and Ireland have went with their gut or their instinct and chose the theme to a different book, maybe 2 or 3 books down the line, because it really resonates. And I think that's a beautiful gift to give people, to allow them the time and space to see what they're drawn to ensure that the story or the chapter that they put into the book really resonates for them and allows them to show up authentically. I know I've went a wee bit off piece there talking about the UK,
okay.
but 2 of the girls from here have came to mind where they've went, the minute I seen the cheetah, I just knew that was my book.
Yeah.
You know, it's really good.
That's going to be a powerful book, because a lot of people are resonating with that theme.
I love that.
And it's the last
amazing.
one.
You know,
and I just want to share as well, you got an exclusive there, Adria. We have not announced our Ireland.
Oh, yes.
Right there now. And yes, we're doing it in Belle-Isle, so check that out. And the wonderful thing is, people who are in the books are going to be speakers there. So we've also got a speaker platform now for our opportunities for our contributors, if that's what you want to do. Some people just want to write a story and that's it. They don't want to be in a docufilm. They don't want to, we're doing a movie as well with the wonderful Scott Servine. They don't, you know, things like that. But and creating speaking opportunities, because and streaming them and putting them on our platform and putting them out to Apple TV. Like, it's all so much collective opportunity. That's not just for now, it's forever. This is a legacy. Like, this project, I know, is going to be you know, maybe not even in 100 years time, 50 years time, it's going to come back, because there's men in the project, yes, but there's a lot of women's stories, and women's voices are really coming to the forefront now, and we're learning a lot from women who share. I'm just going to share here. We've got Roy Smooth, who's going to come for Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
You know him.
Here's me giving a really exclusive, Adria. I'll get in trouble.
I love it.
Come join us in Ireland. We'll show you a thing or two. Isn't it amazing?
Yes,
and so yeah, I was actually hunting Roy down to come and be part of the New York event. So he's coming to Ireland as well. There we go.
Oh, good.
And you see his story in Heroes Roar too.
From my point of view, it's very therapeutic, the writing, that because you're given this theme and you have these things that you need to think about and really think how they came out in your life, and where you know, like for Lion, I went back to my courage origin story, which is very deeply personal and something I never write about or share. And the same thing, even in Lioness, even though I'm writing about my corporate journey, I never talk about that. It's such a nice opportunity. That's how I see it. We lost Karen there.
And that's what I was saying, Adria. The chapter that I was supposed to put in Lioness isn't the one I ended up. I really got and tapped into the feminine element of me. You know, my next chapter is probably more about my why and what I do. But I really dug deep and decided to share in the Stealth and Faith one, because I believe that was very prominent. But that's what's beautiful about these books, because I love the fact that you're saying that, because that is what happens. You dig deep and you really make sure that you're giving people that wisdom that you maybe don't always share. And this seems to be bringing that out in people.
Yeah, I agree. And so for the writer, it's also this cathartic, beautiful experience. And then for the reader as well, which is always how it works as a writer. The more you feel it as a writer, the more the reader is always going to feel it. So I love that it's sort of a twofer that way. And the other thing I would say to folks is that take the opportunity. Karen is so good at giving you opportunities. If you've never been a speaker, but you want to just try, it's such a safe space. Yeah. Karen creates such a safe space for people to shine. And I think that that's why it's such a beautiful fit, and why I think it's getting the momentum that it's getting, Karen, because that is your sweet spot is to help.
But the thing is, Adrea, I don't do the work for people, because you're on a journey and you have to be courageous and you have to step in and you have to choose. But the opportunities are there, ready for you, should you want to embrace them,
Yeah. But I always like to tell this story of you and I, where I had a complete meltdown the first time I saw my first book, a complete meltdown. And you said, I've never forgotten it, and I've used it many times. You said, I am so happy you're this upset. I am so happy that you will feel this strongly and passionately about your creation, because you will always succeed. Because if you feel that strongly about it, if you put that energy going forward, if we channel it in the right way, success is no problem, because you already have that passion within you. And you were saying, like, I can't give you that passion. You have to have that. I'm just going to help you manage it.
Well, I remember, because I had a similar meltdown when I had my first book, and I've had many authors who, it's a part of the process, because it's overwhelming. You've poured your heart and soul into something, and here you are, and so much of yourself, and it's a natural progression to have that. And I never had the support in that moment to and that's what I always promised myself, that when authorship is that, and like we've had 42 women in this and one man in this book, and each one went on a journey. Some had never written before, so they're on that author journey of newness, of sharing the word, of inhibitions, of sharing their story with the world. Like, that can never be just took for granted. And the book came out late because we had an author who needed to, to really, and I was like, let's just do this. Let's just honor this process for this person, because that is so important. Well, it wasn't just one, there was a few people, but, and it's so important that that's honored, because it's part of the story. It's part of sharing it with the world. And we have people then who, have lots of books and stuff, who are seasoned professionals in writing stories, and will just whip something up in a few days, and then there's some other people who are going on the journey of actually sharing their story. It's important to be mindful of that.
And I'm so lucky that they are not just, it's just not a one and done. It's that it comes with a film, it comes with retreating, it comes with in-person events, it comes with speaking opportunities. You're in it for the long haul. Even if you're in one book, you are part of the Hear Us Roar. And I think that's amazing. And
fun and connection, Adrea.
Yeah,
fun and
connection. I love it. And really, I mean, for those of us that are full-time authors, like, it's, I don't spend a lot of time with other people. So it's good for me to get out and be out and doing things with other people.
Yeah, we have interesting WhatsApps, don't we, Adrea?
Yes.
We're like podcasts.
There's a podcast for you, Karen. This is what's going on in Vermont. All right. Well, as we wrap up, folks can buy this book on Amazon or wherever you're a local book. I think we're trying to hit #1 on Amazon. So if people can buy on Amazon, that would be amazing. In support of Hear Us Roar Lioness. Anything else you want to share, Emma, before we wrap up?
Again, reiterating everything we're saying, it's a community, it's a docufilm, love this word. And people can be as much a part of or up forward facing or behind the scenes as you want to be, but the connection is absolutely huge. And again, when we're out celebrating, whether it's in Ireland or America or Australia, it's for all the Here's Roar community. It's everybody to be part of, and that's what I think's really special, really special.
Me too. I love that. Thank you, Emma. And Karen, final things?
If whether you're in the book or in the community or not, and you're watching, just celebrate the power of story. This project is about the power of story. It's about connection, healing, educating, igniting, and all of those wonderful things that the world needs right now. And that's why this project is roaring out into the world. And it is such an organic, like we are being innovative, we're bringing new things in. And so, we win and fail in equal, in equal, but the vibration, you can't ignore it. And we are here because the collective energy behind it. And so it can be an experience that you just absolutely just, it's just so immersive, and so it just adds so much to your life. If you want to, it's there ready for you to behold. And it's all about how you come in and embrace all of the opportunities that are there for you. Okay.
Yeah. And I think that it is very relatable. The people that are contributing to this book are like everybody else. We're all very grounded people that have had these experiences in stealth and faith for this book. So it isn't, it's just very connective. And I feel like it's very welcoming and warm. And just before we go, I wanted to make sure that we do say who Dylan is, because we had mentioned Dylan in the cover, and Dylan is Karen's son and a publisher himself. So just give shout out to Dylan, and also
he's on an airplane right now on the way to the UK. So he's in the air somewhere. God knows where.
A big part of all the design and all the things that happen in the background.
Yeah.
And, thank you, Ray, for everything that you've done to help us. Anybody else we need to thank on behind?
Tracy Regan, who's a contributor in Encourage and Confidence, and she does the structural editing. So she is the one who will, if someone needs to do an audio, that she will rewrite it for them, and she does the first point of contact before we go into copy edits and stuff. And Chelsea as well on our editing.
Oh yeah,
team.
Chelsea, shout out to
Yes. There's so many amazing people that are part of the team of Heroes Roar, just to make it happen and support and nurture the growth, because me and Emma are two people. This is so much bigger than us, and it will continue to grow. And also to Scott, who's doing amazing work on the movie.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
Yeah. All right, well, here we go. Here we roar. Let's do this. Congratulations to all the authors, and thank you for your endless support. Talk to you later.
Thank you, everyone. Heroes Roar! Bye, guys. Thank you so much, Adrea. I love this conversation.
Pleasure. Thank you.